Thank you for clicking on my video. Don't forget to leave a like. Okay, my name is Linda Ramiro. I am from Enesmapo Plantel 2 in the learning and teaching of the English language for secondary school. Today I'm going to be talking about my strategy. I'm super excited to get down to this. I got everything I need here, and hopefully you enjoy my video and my strategy. Let's get started. Okay, so the teaching and learning of English language are a relevant need at a social and educational level in Mexico. And one of the effective ways to go about teaching English, or any language as a matter of fact, is by reading native scriptures, culturally immersive texts such as ballads, novels, short stories, or poetry in the target language where the learning is desired. It is important to encourage learning through reading in an educational environment for many reasons. Reasons such as reinforcing the learned material and by self-learning through deciphering the meanings of such texts. This style of learning is also and otherwise known as the discovery method. So, before I continue on with my demonstration and completely get you lost with my word salad, I'm going to show you my PowerPoint that explains the main idea of my strategy, which is called Reading Poems. The main idea: carry out poetry readings to identify the main ideas and organize sentences identified in paragraphs where feelings and emotions are described in order to create an emotional dictionary. Materials needed: one poem of your choice that you can find in the link provided, a journal or sheets of paper to write down words and sentences, a pen or pencil, and some highlighters, one English dictionary where you will be looking up words and finding the definition. Here are the phases. Phase 1. Read the lines of the poems together as a group. Phase 2. Select sentences and decipher the meaning to the best of your ability, utilizing a dictionary if necessary. Phase 3. Understand the main idea of the poem. Phase 4. Create a word glossary from the words used and selected from the poem. Phase 5. Listen to the opinions, ideas, and conclusions of others and understand the different interpretations. Okay, so now I got my materials. I got my highlighters, I have my pen, and a journal to write my words in. So now I'm going to be reading these poems that I have selected for this activity. We're going to start with this one. It's called Don't Love Me Yet. And so it reads: Do not love me yet, for I am still a slender moon, a scimitar about the heart, too sharp to touch too soon. Before I'm touched, I need to grow more full in golden light. I need to smile upon my earth and rule some patch of night. I need to know what roads and fields lie in my domain, and dull my brand new ecstasies, with sophomoric pain. I need the love of some blank boy, as cold and dark as me, that we might grope in ignorance and fear of what might be. And then when I'm a silver bowl and know what I can hold, then, perhaps we could try love, if you are not too old. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna get my highlighter right here. See, I think I'll go with orange. And I'm gonna highlight sentences that I think have impact and help me understand what this poem exactly is about. Okay, so I have my highlighted words here. I'm going to let that focus in. Okay, I tried my best. Well, anyways, now I already wrote these down beforehand just so that I can be prepared and not be scrambling to write these down. So, for your sake and for your eye's sake, I wrote this on huge sheets of paper instead of writing it down on a notebook so that you guys can understand better how this activity is going to go. Now here are the sentences that I have highlighted in my poem that I just read. Okay. And so I have already underlined some words, just like these two, just so that you can see which words I'm going to be using and deciphering to see the deeper meaning behind this poem. So I want to highlight grow because this looks like an important word. See, I need to know what roads and fields. Okay, I want to highlight no, roads and fields. Okay, and dull my brand new ecstasies. Okay, I want to underline dull. That's another key word. And my brand new ecstasies with sophomoric and pain. So I'm going to be writing down these words in my little booklet, my sheet of paper, and I'm going to be using my dictionary to define or write a definition for them. Okay, so what words do I have written right now? I have here in my little journal the words I'm going to be using. These keywords are going to help me understand what kind of feeling this poem is trying to convey. So I'm going to go ahead and write the definitions for these. I'm going to look them up. And from then, I'm going to draw my conclusion of what this poem is, what kind of feeling this poem is trying to convey. Okay, so I finally have my definitions written down. This is what I have. And so what I got is touched means come into contact with, need means to require something, grow, undergo natural development. Now this could be for like people or other living organisms. Know, to understand and to be aware. Roads, a particular course. Fields, an area of open land. Dull, lacking in brightness. Ecstasies, which are feelings of great excitement. Sophomoric, which is another word for juvenile or young. Pain, which means discomfort, illness, or injury. So at this point is where the students in their group would be discussing and coming into a conclusion of what kind of emotion that this kind of poem is trying to convey. Now, what I got from this is that these are pretty, I guess, negative words when you put it in this context. Now, reading it all together, before I'm touched, so that's before they come into contact with my person, I need to grow. So they are expressing a desire to grow themselves as a person. I need to know what roads and fields to take. So they're saying basically that they need to learn more about themselves through this way. And dull is a negative word, meaning lacking in brightness. My brand new ecstasies, which is actually a positive word, but in this case, by the reading, it's actually used in a negative way. Pain, with sophomoric pain, which means juvenile pain. This means like they're just now experiencing this kind of pain. It's juvenile pain, it's new pain. Okay, so now you see that this poem is trying to convey sadness, trying to convey that they're not ready, they are unprepared. And this is, you kind of get the main idea of like how the students are able to connect words and sentences to find meanings behind them and to understand what these words mean and how they can apply those in real life and help them decipher text in a more deep and profound way. Okay, so I have one more poem here that I want to go over just to reinforce the idea. Let me go ahead and give you a read. It's a little shorter. Your laugh is like a silver bell, clean and light and free. Just like the hours of happiness your friendship brings to me. You're like a room of sweet wind chimes, enlightened by a breeze, or like an open grassy field dotted with old trees. I'm grateful for the things you do, but more for what you are, like a breath of open sea, of life beyond the bar. Okay, so you can already tell by the sound of this poem that it has a different vibe to it. But just to be sure, we're going to go over some sentences that I already had pre-selected from this poem. Okay, I'm going to use blue this time. Okay, so your laugh is like a silver bell. Now we're going to highlight this word, laugh. Laugh. Okay, your laugh is like a silver bell. Silver, I guess this is counted as one word. So silver bell. Clean and light and free. I'm going to underline the word clean, light, and free. I think this poem is a lot easier to use. You know, it's important to make sure that your students are able to have something that they can understand and work with well. So something not too complicated. This one is actually pretty easy because while the previous poem had a mixture of positive words and negative words, but the positive words were used in a negative way, so they can kind of like be confusing as to what the meaning is actually, or what the poem is trying to convey. This one has a bunch of positive words such as laugh, clean, light, free. Whenever you think of those words, you think about something that is positive. And so, because this poem has a lot of positive words rather than a mixture of positive and negative, it's more easy to tell what kind of poem this is, or what kind of emotions are being written. Enlightened by a breeze. And here's another one. Enlightened. Oh, that didn't write. Okay, enlightened. Right here. That's a rather large word. By a breeze. Okay. Now we got our definitions that we're going to be writing. Okay. And so let's go ahead and these down. I'm gonna write down the word laugh, silver bell, clean, light, free, enlightened. Now I can already tell by these words that this poem is trying to convey happiness. However, for an English learner that doesn't yet know the definitions or words and that is trying to learn, that might be not so clear just yet, which is why it's important to write these words down as a learner and look up the definitions in your English dictionaries, and then you write the definitions and start to connect these words to the sentences and into the poem itself, where you will find what this poem is trying to convey. Okay, and there you have it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you really
thought that this was helpful. So that's it for my video. Bye!